Welcome to the November 6th Veterans Memorial Island Advisory Committee meeting. And I would like to begin this month of Veterans Day with the Pledge of Allegiance. John, would you please?
Yes, sir. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. With that, I would like to just bring up the minutes from last month's, October 2nd's minutes. It was provided for everybody's review. And with that, is there any recommendations for changes to the October minutes? We had a busy meeting with Don speaking about the changes and the movement of the sundial and the historical marker, and we added Joel's phone number 226-1499 to the sign, and noted the fact that there was a contractor had finished cleaning and sealing the walkways, and so with that, any comments in regards to the minutes for October?
Mr. Chairman, I move they be approved.
It's
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so please file the October 2nd minutes for record. Okay, audience participation. I have two folks here that will be talking under new business, and seeing none, we'll move on. Under new business, first thing, Rob, if you would just speak about the request you've received.
Rob Slezak, Recreation Director. Just received a request for a memorial for Rick Moore, and it has gone through the process. Everyone's evaluated and assessed it, and it'll be on the 23rd of November.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Rick. Rob, what did you say?
Rick Moore is a person, they're doing a memorial for him on November 23rd, and all the paperwork and everything has gone through. And
on November 23rd.
Yep.
What time is it?
I think it is at 11 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. For those who don't know Rick, I don't know, John, would you like any comments in regards to his?
Yes, sir. Rick was a Vietnam veteran. His father was a veteran of the Battle of Iwo Jima and a Marine. Actually, he had a history of Marines in his family. His uncle and I think grandfather were even Marines. Rick was a recipient of the Bronze Star and the Purple Heart in Vietnam, and was the past commandant of the Marine Corps League, I think twice, in Indian River Detachment of the Marine Corps League. Was real active with the Toys for Tots program and got hundreds or maybe thousands of toys for children in the community, and was suffered from post-traumatic stress, and I think was a victim of Agent Orange also. Not that that's kind of come and gone, but and Rick, I think, was born and raised in Vero Beach.
He is a local.
I went to school with him.
He was raised here, that's for sure. His whole family.
He was real involved. And in fact, I think when we had that candle to remember the end of the Vietnam War, I think Rick was the first one to start that candlelight vigil on Memorial Island as well, and other things.
I would just like to echo what John said. When the Genealogy Society was doing the research for the veterans on the island, we looked for folks to assist in providing us background for some of the veterans, and Rick contacted me and gave me information about some of the Vietnam veterans, and he had the listing of local veterans that had served in the Vietnam War, and I just want to express my gratitude to him, because that's what goes into making Memorial Island and the record and the history of all of the veterans that are there. And Jeff Flannery, I believe, is the point of contact for those interested. The service on the 23rd, I think that's 3 weeks, Today's the
Sixth.
6th, about 3 weeks on a Saturday. And my understanding, it'll be at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial there on the island. Okay.
I'd like to interject one thing.
Yeah.
He and his father were also instrumental in helping the Italian-American War veterans get their original charter here in Vero Beach,
Okay.
and we appreciate that also.
Okay. And if you go back through the papers, you'll find photographs of Rick on Memorial Island with folks making Veterans Days important. All right. The Veterans Day ceremony. Marty's not here. He's over receiving a proclamation from the county. But I asked Vic Diaz to come on up and kind of give us an update on the ceremony.
Sir, if I can, just before we have the programs where it is right now. There's going to be a few more changes, but should I give these to the committee?
Thank you.
And it's still a work in progress. I think after, let's see, I'm not sure how many. Hopefully, I got enough there. After today's meeting here, and here's Colonel Ziegert now. He's coming in. After today's meeting and yours and Colonel Ziegert's approval, there'll be maybe a little bit of tweaking on the program, but this is. I'm sorry. Okay. This is it so far today.
It's nice.
Okay.
I like it.
So, Marty, if you want to come up here with Vic, that way that if he makes a mistake, you can poke him. So, Vic, explain to the folks here your role as far as your vice president.
I'm the judge advocate for the Veterans Council, and on Monday, November 11th, at 9 a.m., we will commence ceremonies honoring veterans on Memorial Island. We have a number of firsts we're doing this year. One, we want to give a big thank you to the city for providing the water. This also will be the first time that this is going to be streamed live over television and the internet. IPT is doing the filming on the island, and we will announce to all in attendance that they are being filmed. So if they don't want to, they can back out of the picture. Another first that we're having is, we all appreciate you dignitaries, but we're going to put veterans on the stage this time. It's Veterans Day, and Marty had a great idea on that, and it's worked out, and we have her 93-year-old mother in a wheelchair. We need to get over there, and the other one with his birthday is, he's 93 on Veterans Day. We are having extra carts on board. We've had a traffic problem in the past, especially with getting the honor guards out there on time. So we have a cart dedicated to transporting the honor guards out there. This year we won't have a conflict with the SEALs. And the SEALs are actually having their events on the weekend. So they won't be in conflict with us on Veterans Day. For those who put in the record, the live stream will be veteranipt.net. And they're also going to hook up to our website.
Okay.
I believe that's pretty much the program as stated. You have a copy of the program. As John said, there'll be some changes, but the program's pretty much locked in. Anything else we need?
No, that's pretty much it.
Questions?
We've got over 20 veterans that will, and we've asked their spouses to be up there with them. Everyone, I don't know if Charlie Cox will make it, but Charlie's 103, fixing to be 104 in February, and we've got some people that are 93, 94, 95, and you just kind of go, wow.
If I can get Mom out, I would love her.
That'd be great. We will make room. There will not be, and I remember I have not heard back from the lady whose dad is 93 with his birthday on. But you got to remember, Veterans Day is a celebration day. It's not Memorial Day. It's not the remembrance of those, everything. It's a celebration, and we're going to celebrate veterans, and we're going to have a good time doing it. It's first time. Someone brought it to my attention last year that how come all the politicians are up there and the veterans are sitting in the audience? And, you know, I'd like to be like Obama and blame it on Bush, but it was, I don't want to be recorded on this. But anyway, I got a complaint last year, a valid complaint, that someone said, how come the veterans aren't up there? And I said, you're absolutely right, they should be up there. So we've changed it, and every single person I've talked to, including Elma Lee, went, wow, what a great idea. Wish you'd have done this years ago. And that's been the common refrain. So I think this year is going to be a blast. And then we've got IPTV is going to be out there broadcasting around the world. So families who have a kid in Afghanistan, yeah, it's going to be kind of middle of the night thing, but you want to see, and a couple comments I've had from people who worked out there. My family always wonders what I do. And, well, now they can see it on TV, see it on your computer. And I think it's an absolutely wonderful thing. I think they're going to do great for us. I want them to interview every veteran that's out there. And we're going to have a whole new set for Memorial Day. So what a great idea, and we need to recognize these folks before they pass. So thanks for your support.
Marty, what time are you recommending that people start getting there?
8:30. It's not going to be the same as Memorial Day, obviously, because the schools are still in, but we've got the band. Last night, in fact, I was asked to be at the school board meeting for recognition of Veterans Day, and that's an all-time first. It's never happened that I know of before, and it's never happened that they knew of before. So, you know, the veterans are getting a lot of publicity and things. People are going, wow, they really are out there. They really do need our help. And, you know, we're making progress. So thanks you.
Okay. Questions? Anyone? I just want to bring up a couple points. First, the water has been paid for the first time in recent years by the county. So I would like to express my appreciation to Joe Baird, Commissioner Fletcher, and Commissioner Bob Solari, who made that happen. And I think that's a precedence that will continue for Veterans Day and Memorial Day. So we have the county assisting the city as Bob Greco goes and gets the coolers and ices it, and we have the Boy Scouts, et cetera, making all those little actions possible. Also, I want to say thanks to the police department, Chief Curry. They've been very helpful in aiding in the fact that we'll have probably 20 designated parking spots for those veterans that will be up on stage. And if you look at the vast majority being from World War II and Korea, I think that's very appropriate. And I believe that's it for Veterans Day. Yeah.
One other item I failed to mention is there's going to be a vendor outside of Memorial Island right as you come off the bridge, who's going to be serving free coffee after.
Okay. I believe I'll let Mark talk about that. Okay. Any other questions? Thanks.
Got it.
Appreciate it. Okay, we'll move right on to Veterans IPTV Foundation, Mark Ossenfort. Mark.
Hi, thank you for having me. My name is Mark Ossenfort. I'm the president of IPTV Communities, Inc., right here in Vero Beach. And we're a national company, actually international, and our specialty is internet television. And put it in simple layman's term, instead of using cable, instead of using the airwaves, we use the internet to broadcast. So we are a broadcast media company. We do lots of projects, everything from churches to real estate to many other businesses. We help them and provide them services that they can now be on the internet and broadcast worldwide. And one of the projects I was working on, someone brought up the fact of veterans and how the veterans recognition should be there. And in fact, a local doctor here was meeting with him, and he had said that he's hearing stories of people. He's a cardiologist, and hears stories of people that are there in a heart situation, but he's hearing their stories and they know they're being lost. And connected with that with the youth, which is what I've had over 25 years in K-12 IT world, I connected all that, and we connected it as a group and went, wait a minute, we should be having these interviews. We should be looking at interviewing veterans and hearing their stories and hearing and seeing their face. But how are we going to do this nationally? We ended up coming up with a project that we're going to be looking with and launching that's going to have the youth of America and all the high schools, public, private, doesn't matter, all throughout America, because in every town we've got veterans and every town we've got high schools. And we're working on a national initiative to get that and build a national library of veteran stories. So that's who we are and where we started. And then I had met the colonel and spent some time. And we started looking at this. We're right here. We do internet broadcasting. I do it all day long. It's a normal thing in my world. And brought it and presented it to the council and said we'd be offered. This is our gift to our community. And we will be doing that broadcasting. In fact, we're partnering with Florida Broadband to make sure we have enough bandwidth to make sure that everything works very, very securely and smoothly. And through some words after meeting Tony, hearing the word sacred. And that's something that we really take to heart. So we're making a very small footprint. And this was the easiest way that we could do our job and do what we do and make a small footprint on the island and be as quiet as possible in the background and not have the press trucks with all the things in the big towers and things. So that's what we're doing for this project. And we're Tony has been blessed to spend some time with him and walk the island. He's introduced me to it and spent some time walking around. I have a good feel for it. Very, very moving, very, very moving afternoon I spent there. So just again, want to introduce myself, open up for any questions. And but one point I do want to make, veteraniptv.net is going to be the actual, our channel. But we are web people too, and we're tech people. So we've already been in touch with the council's tech people. We're working and putting it on their website. And it can be on anybody's website. This is an activity for us. And this is just really our gift to our community here. So I'm open for any questions or...
No, but a comment, and Mr. Ossenfort, that is wonderful news. And what a contribution. The fact that we're able to get the histories of so many of these veterans and get them in print in today's communication, so we'll have them in the future. And I will always look to the Genealogy Society to say thank you, because they really got us started on the background and the history and the recording of it. Mm-hmm. So welcome to Indian River County, and
thank you.
Certainly wish you well, and we'll look forward to seeing you at Veterans Day.
Well, thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes. When we go to this website, is there going to be a link there, or is it going to be directly played?
I'm directly playing it.
Okay.
We, as a corporate, and again, I'm the president of IPTV Communities. That's the parent company. We have multiple channels, and our channels are projects. We're putting this one under our Veteran IPTV project, and also that's going to be our broadcast for that. All the .nets are going to be our network broadcast channels. So it will be dead center on that morning. So whoever tunes in there, no matter where you are in the world, even if you stumble on it through Google, you're going to be watching Indian River County's and our Veterans Islands broadcast.
And if they happen to miss it and they want to see it, are you going to have that on your website there?
I will have that available also. We're going to be doing it. In fact, I'm working with a local school here too, that they will be helping with the post-production work. And I'm engaged with the youth. There's a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of stuff, and I enjoyed what you had said about slowing down, because I'm still a kid, but I'm slowing down a lot too myself. But it's enjoyable to take the energy of the youth and have them go and give them something and let them see a project that's really tied into the community. We've lacked that for so many years, in my opinion. So that's part of what our initiative is to do, is even to bring the youth involved.
And they're so advanced with technology.
let's just
We
say
need
your-
'em.
let's just say our conversation, and my conversation with them are two different languages. And Tony's heard me chatter already. My language with Bernadette already. Her and I were doing our little chatter, and everybody just sits back and waits for the conversation to get over. But it's. But that's what we do, and it will be available too. It will be a notation on the website that if you do want to watch it on your mobile device, we'll also be able to broadcast to mobile devices.
So basically, Memorial Island in Little Indian River County will come to the YouTube generation.
It will be there
November 11th.
Yes, it will, and the archive will be there too. The archiving will be there. Ultimately, what's going to happen for those that, just to give you a little snapshot into the future, Apple TV is real. There's a box called Roku, ROKU. It's internet television. It's real. It's here today. There's 5 million boxes out there of Roku, and we are a Roku broadcasting channel. So this project will be part of that, so that people will be able to see it. And we're also developing a foundation right now to work with veterans in transition. And the entire project that we're working on, the resources will be going into that project also. So this will be a community and a national feed into a very, very, very large project. And I'm grateful to be here and grateful for the opportunity to launch and to let the world see all of us from here.
Cool. All right. I think this will really help in accomplishing the objective of Memorial Island, which is to recognize and honor the veterans and educate those that come after them as to the sacrifices they've made. So on behalf of Mr. O'Connor, who is right to your side, the city director, I'll just say thanks for, I know it's not inexpensive. It entails some expense, and I appreciate your volunteering for that.
Okay.
I do have one question.
Yeah, sure.
For the island next May, when they have the 50th anniversary of the island, is there any way we can get these folks involved?
If we're very
It's a request. It really is. This is my hometown. It's a request. That's all it is.
I mean, that would be
no
same thing, like this.
I believe if we have the 50th anniversary, I believe, is that a golden anniversary?
Yep.
I believe golden anniversary, that would be a stellar opportunity to showcase a community that really loves its vets. So,
and I also, just to expound on that, I also have the resources to bring in that could do either a documentary or do what we in the movie industry call pre-rolls, do things that we can do out, and we can actually do a complete expose before and then have that available too, so we can actually bring that to a full production.
Well, I don't want to give away the excitement for Veterans Day on Monday, but when you have veterans that flew in a dirigible, veterans that were in a submarine in World War II, and all the way through to young men that were recognized for valor in Desert Storm. I think it's an occasion to record. So
agreed.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
And the archive program will be on your site?
It will be. Ultimately, the National Archive is going to be on our site also. We're going to be handling all of the data storage, all of the bandwidth, and handling all of those things for this project. That's all going to be there.
So it is veteraniptv.net.
Correct.
Okay.
And also on Veteran Council's website, there will be a link there. I've received all my information. I will be having it there, so in case anybody happens to go to that website, they will be able to watch it there on that website also.
Now, do you have, if somebody that's watching wants to contact you, do you have a phone number that they can call?
They're right on the website. It's there also.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, all that information, again, on typically in our world, in our arena, it's when you're on a website, the call to action, or if you even want to call somebody, that information is right there to reach out to somebody. That is right there while they're watching it, not as an advertisement, but as an informational area.
Exactly. Okay. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Dexter, please. Update for Veterans Memorial Island Sanctuary map.
Thank you.
Good morning, Don Dexter, Public Works, and Mark. I'd like to talk to you about the city's website too. Getting a link established there.
Yeah.
But that's the updated map, and it is in place now.
So, it is?
Yes.
Wow.
It was installed yesterday, so we are good to go.
Fantastic.
And I know, Emily, you had called about an X. That must have been an older version, so there's no X on there, so we're in good shape.
Thank you. Just checking.
And our crews are out on the island today doing some cleanup. The benches will be pressure cleaned, and we're also going to look at pressure washing the other regular sidewalk also and getting it all cleaned up for Veterans Day.
For the audience, I know this is not the best, but this is what we're referring to, and what Don's department has accomplished is the map legend on the left-hand side as you go into the island. Needed updating based upon the additional monuments that have been added to the island, and we've also added points of contact, the Veterans Council, the Recreation Department, and then the Advisory Committee. So if people come onto the island and they know nothing about Vero Beach or whatever, they can look to it and say, okay, I want to have a ceremony here. Here's a phone number to contact, or if I want to know about policy, here's a number. And so this is awesome. I mean, it's really incredible.
That real quick.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'll send it right back up. Just 1 second.
Okay. And for those watching, the detail that goes into updating a map is intensive. I'll put it that way. In addition to that, Don has worked with engineering and GIS, and they have updated a map that will be with one of the trifolds that we'll review that also provides this information. So as we provide a trifold out to the community and they get to visit the Chamber of Commerce or they go to the rec department, they'll be able to pick that up and have that as well. I just, it excites me because I think this is something that we've all looked forward to having. Any other questions in regards to the map and legend?
No, that's great.
I was going to say, everybody has worked on this for a long time.
Yes, yep. It's been
and Don, it's hard for us to express to you, but the city's cooperation in making the different things happen. That island is first class.
Well, thank you, and every member of the staff feels that way too,
what I mean.
And it's reflected on.
I sent, and this is for the public, I sent a note to Don, and I think I copied his bosses. But in the military, when we do our training exercises in the Mojave Desert, we'll go out and they'll stage a battle. And at the end of the battle, we take our head count of the casualties, et cetera, and how badly the opposing forces have whipped us. But then it's called being magicked. All of a sudden, all of the equipment is now operational again. All of the soldiers are back operational. Well, in the real world of Vero Beach and Indian River County and Florida and the United States, you can't magic. It's all hard work, and I just want to say thanks.
You're welcome.
It's incredible. Okay. Moving on to the service marker restoration.
And that's on hold until after Veterans Day, and then we're going to remove one of the markers and make sure that comes off okay, and we'll ship them off and get them restored and back before Memorial Day.
Okay. So specifically what we're addressing here is as you walk around the perimeter of the island on the Serpentine Walk, every 100, 200 yards, there's a marker for the Marines, for the Air Force, DOD, and those have become a little dilapidated or worn, so we're going to try and get those updated. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Don. Okay, the anniversary for Memorial Island is next May, and so the Veterans Council with an assemblage of graybeards will look at that and attack it. I know we have the Navy representation with Eric Menger, the Air Force with Marty Zickert, myself with the Army, and I was remiss in not including the Marines, so I think I'll have to draft a Marine or two to make sure that the protocol is up to par, and maybe a Coastie if I can find one. So. Okay.
I hope you can.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Chairman's matters. I would like to move on to the trifolds. This has been another project that has been in development thanks to the Veterans Council. And last week, 3 designs were covered. And the first design, I'll just hold this up, is a collage of a veteran and then a family member and her daughter, and then photograph of the older gentleman, veterans. And then on the reverse side is the map of the island, courtesy of GIS, and the updated Veterans Council seal. So any comments in regards to this? Is the design number 1 on your list there? Any comments?
A good one.
Questions? Okay.
Moving right along.
Okay, so that would be the first. And as I'd mentioned earlier, probably would be something that would be ideal at the rec center and a couple of the other locations, Chamber of Commerce. The second design is a beautiful one as well. Thank you, Bernadette Rednauer, her creativity. Put the American national colors on the front. And then on the back page is the quote from the monument that was dedicated when the island was first set aside for the veterans. And then if you look on the inside, it speaks to the history of the island, what it is, a place of reflection, hallowed ground, a community memorial, a place for patriotic ceremonies, a sanctuary for veterans and families, and then gives points of contact as well as the committee on the final page, which includes our newest member, which I failed to welcome, Ken. So that's the second trifold. And again, it's something that provides a little bit more insight onto what it is it's about. Comments?
Just generally on whichever one we pick, like for the Chamber of Commerce, when they get folded and they're put into the little racks, you only really just see the tops of things. So, so I think the top of the cover should have, Veterans Memorial Island Sanctuary. Maybe massage that a little bit if we were whichever one.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
whichever one we were using for the chamber. I don't think the same information could be there, but maybe if we just swap Veterans Memorial Island Sanctuary and had at least we forget on the bottom or something like that, because when it's in the rack, people are just kind of looking across there and they need to see, if the name's down at the bottom, they won't see it unless they lift it up to look at it.
Okay.
But both are really nice. I
think this one's a good example. In other words, if it's folded a certain way, at least this would already be there.
Amen.
Which would get people's attention.
Yeah, and actually that's not a bad
Okay.
Okay.
On that brochure, on that one, item number 4, an island for patriotic ceremony. Ceremonies.
Yes. Very good. Okay.
And on the other one, too, they left the X in there. So.
You want an S on there?
Oh, really?
No, on the map of the island, they inadvertently still put the X back there.
Really?
Caught that earlier? That's what you were looking at earlier, right?
This one has.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it still has the X.
I don't have one on mine.
Attention to detail.
Oh, there. Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah, no. Plural for ceremonies.
Ceremonies.
Okay. And then finally, the third trifold is one that has the soldier's cross on the front of it and notation of the 50th anniversary of Memorial Island. And it looks like this. And on the reverse side gives background regarding the beginning, the sanctuary, and continued work. And it has some illustrations, of the Marines during the ceremony as well as the cenotaphs. So any comments in regards to the third design?
I like the patriotic days on the back of that. It's nice to see them all listed there.
Yep.
All right.
Looks good.
So what I would like to do is, given these few changes, basically request the advisory committee just to concur with the designs, and then with those changes, we can have copies made. And the intent would be to provide probably several hundred of each, and that would go to the city as well as Chamber of Commerce, and as well as have several hundred available for Memorial Day and Veterans Day to provide to the people that attend the
You might
ceremony.
want to put some in the county, too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people use that administrative building.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine with me.
Library, too.
I just appreciate what both of you have, what this committee, the city, Public Works Department, and especially the Veterans Council. We're going to have an official PR piece for Veterans Memorial Island. So, and I know the Chamber is looking forward to having it put on their right.
Well, I believe it's something that reflects what we all love and care a great deal about for Vero Beach. So,
yes, sir.
Cover of that last one. That'd be maybe another example of putting the name near the top. And can we enlarge that? I guess that's the bronze plaque that we had made for the gate.
That's on the gate, correct?
Can we enlarge that on? It seems like it's a little.
Yes.
In the old days when we used to do paste, glue and paste, but I think it could be larger to make that balanced a little bit better, which would also make it easier to read what's written on there.
Amen.
And the idea is to have some of each of these. Is that the plan?
Yes.
So, and that's a good idea too, because
Yes.
then people think they saw it, but they go, "Oh, that's something new," and might get more.
Well,
even if there was in the same rack, 2 or 3 of them wouldn't hurt. So.
When the young lady took on the mission to do this, I said that we probably need to have an assortment, and each one kind of addresses a different aspect of it.
Yeah.
And there can be a fourth, because, as I sit here, I think of the veterans in the Cenotaph Square, capturing those. So this is a work in project, but in progress. But I do want to get it on the street so that we have it for the near term, and then we can improve upon it.
It's great. I think it's turned out good. Let's see the wording on that green part there, where it says located just west of Riverside Park, connected by bridge. Is that the right wording? Connected by bridge? Is that connected by a small bridge?
It could be
Connected by the bridge, or
by
it could be
by walkway,
Englishified, grammarified.
That's probably not my best. Anyway,
I'm a biology major, but I will refer that back to the editor. Yes, sir. I agree. Okay. Update the location. I mean, the Air Force had to correct the Army because I had it east of Riverside Park to begin with. Okay. Very good. So, we've had a motion, and do we need to have a concurrence? You think, ma'am, to proceed with it?
To proceed with this, I would think so.
I'll second it if you.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
for
in
sure.
favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Okay. Very good. Absolutely. Next, Chairman's Matters. Very quickly, and I know this is getting to be longer for a meeting. I would like everybody to grab the annual report. Yes. And I would like it, if you would, to take this and provide your comment back to Rita, and she will relay that to me in light of the sunshine laws. I believe that's probably the best way to handle it. But in review of the annual report, if everybody,
I will add on there regarding the memorial service for this last gentleman that we just approved of. So that'll be added in there as well.
Good.
Okay. I'd just like to go through very quickly just some changes that I'll provide to that. In the second bullet there, it speaks of the committee of 5 members and 2 alternates is presently operating at full with a full board. And in addition to that, and I will include the fact that Rip Wheeler stepped down and Ken became the alternate. And thanks to Rip, for his service, and thanks also to Ken for assuming the duties. So that basically it reflects that. And then following the update for the Cenotaph project was completed this year. Old markers were disposed, and I'll update that to reflect that the total numbers were 14 that were updated, and the fact that in addition 5 new cenotaphs were set aside for Aaron Holt, Tyson, Woodward, Morris, and Tharp. Okay. Then in the bullet there in regards to the additional benches that were made to the island, I would like to acknowledge Mike Malloy and the Korean War Veterans Association for their purchase of those for the Purple Heart and Korean War Memorial. And then finally, on the bottom of the page, we speak to the renovation of the service markers, and basically it will be revised to reflect the cost to accomplish the restoration. Locally is being investigated, per what Don said. A determination of the renovation will be made pending that determination, and the renovation completion is expected prior to the 50th anniversary. Okay. So if you would, please, a little homework until we meet again, and provide the input back to Rita, and then she'll provide that to me.
When is this report due?
December.
In December.
I was going to say it is in December.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so I will have your input before then, and then make the adjustments, and we'll provide that when we meet again. And lastly, I just want to, this is a gift that was provided to the Veterans Council from the Sheriff's Department of Veterans Memorial Island. A plaque will be added to that reflects the receipt from the Sheriff's Department and the island, and this will be placed out at the Veterans Store at the mall. So I will pass this down so that you can look at that. And then I have one request for the group. I asked Mr. Dexter if we could get another copy of this prepared in copy paper, and the fee for that, I believe, is minor.
About
$12. And the intent there would be for us to give this, to have it mounted and then posted at the Victory Store. So as customers come in or veterans come in for meetings, they can see Memorial Island. You have a photograph of the colors, but there's an expenditure related to that. So I need to ask your endorsement for us to purchase that for the Veterans Store.
So moved.
Yeah. Second.
Agree.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
And then that would have to go to the council for their approval, I believe, any monetary expenditure. Okay. That is the chairman's matters. Council members or committee members, ma'am? John? Ma'am?
Got it all done.
Sir?
No, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody.
Ken, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
So for everybody that's looking, please come Monday morning, 9 o'clock on Veterans Memorial Island, and Sebastian has theirs at 11, I believe.
Should probably
but
show
this
up
is
at 8:30 for the island.
Yes,
the
yes.
show-up time would be 8:30.
We do expect a large group of people, so if you want,
better come early.
Come early. And with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.